All right, good morning. Beautiful Friday. We got 3 mowing jobs to do today. And I had a customer reach out yesterday asking if I knew anybody who could dig a couple holes and plant, I think she said hydrangeas. It's a yard we mowed yesterday, but it's originally like a Wednesday yard. So I said, you know, I could do it since I'm already gonna be out. So we got that also. And then we got to go pick up a trimmer head from the part store because, you know, yesterday Wayne was kind enough to let me have the one he had. So I'm gonna buy 2 just so I have a spare, and then, you know, I'll give him 1 so then he has one in his truck. And then there's three properties we need to go look at. 2 of them they found me on Google and they want lawn mowing, and I saw the houses on Google Maps, but I want to drive by and take a look just in case there's, you know, the imaging on Google Maps might be outdated, who knows. And then the third one is the lady approved the estimate, I think like Tuesday or Wednesday. And for lawn mowing, and I just want to drive by it, see the condition of the lawn, because that might determine like what day it gets put on. Like if it's really bad, I'll probably put it on like Monday or Tuesday. But if it's not that bad, actually I'll probably still just stick it on Tuesday. I don't know what I'm thinking. Tuesdays are really light anyway. So yeah, that's what we got going on for today. No Junior. All this stuff I can easily handle, and I don't have to worry about paying him. So yeah, we're at the first one. Yeah, the video I uploaded this morning, which when you're watching this will be yesterday, was like over 7 hours long. So it'll be interesting to see how that video does. Just as far as like views and subscribers and like even monetization wise. So yeah, I edited it last night, uploaded it last night. It was gonna go live this morning. But when I woke up, I got a notification saying that the video can't be monetized because Junior was like listening to something on his phone, and there was a not a copyright strike. Yeah, a copyright strike. So this morning, it's like 11:30 right now. So this morning I had to take out that part and re-upload the video, and that 2-hour-long video took like 2.5 hours to render. So yeah, it finished rendering. I got it uploaded. It's uploading right now. In fact, it might be done. So yeah, we're at this first property here. Load up on some out pouches.
mailbox?
For them?
Yes.
Okay.
He was right in front of it. So. Thank you.
23 minutes. Oh, I love AC. So a quick health update. Since I started working out and doing a calorie deficit, I have lost almost 40 pounds. It's like 38 pounds or something. I just bought some new shirts that are a size smaller. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Gonna keep doing it, keep working out. Keep watching what I eat. And hopefully get down to probably like right around like 220. And then reevaluate my goals after that. Because I'd like to put on more muscle. You know, I'm working out still. I do a lot of lifting, leg day, cardio, all that stuff. So, you know, one thing is, you know, I want to bulk up with muscle. And, you know, I don't know, maybe settle anywhere between maybe like, I want to say 180 is too low for me, you know, like I'm 6 foot, but maybe between like 180 and 210 I think might be a good weight if the majority of that can be muscle. 26 minutes for that one. What did I say the other one was? 23. Yeah, this one's a lot a lot bigger. If you remember from last Friday's video, which was actually Thursday, Junior was helping me on this, and I didn't think I could get the 48 into the backyard. But today I wanted to see if I could do it, and sure enough, it just barely fit. There was probably maybe like a quarter of an inch on each side, but that's awesome that I can use the 48 back there, because what is that, 42, 30, 16 extra inches on all those swipes. Like 2 swipes will be like 3 swipes of the 32. Yeah, each 2 swipes is 1 less that I have to do with the 32, so that's really nice. Yeah, last week their dog was out back. So we are going to do the flower planting and maybe bush trimming. So that's where we're going to next, because we're going north. My last mowing is south, and I figured, since we're so far north, I could swing by those 2 properties that I need to look at for mowing estimates, and then also pick up a couple trimmer heads for Wayne. So in that way, I'm like kind of circling back around. So yeah, this is one of the nice things about having Friday as an open day. You know, because of the rain we had on Tuesday, didn't work Tuesday. On Wednesday, we worked half a day and we did Tuesday yards. Then yesterday, Thursday, we did Wednesday and Thursday, except for just 3. So I had this day open, you know, as a makeup day. I used to have, like my first year of business, I had Monday off. And then I was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for mowing. And I did that because a lot of the customers I got from Wayne, you know, because I bought part of his business because he wanted to downsize. So he sold me part of his business. A lot of the customers, like, that was their specific day. And I had a couple customers that like really wanted Friday mowing. And I can't remember if it was my second year or my third. I think it was my second year. I moved everyone back a day to be Monday through Thursday for mowing. I like that a lot better because, like my first year, if I saw in the forecast that there was supposed to be rain like on Thursday, then like I would move everyone up one day except for my Friday, and then, you know, Friday I would mow my Friday yards, and Thursday I would have the day off if it was raining too much. But now, since I have Friday, I can push yards off by a day. Because I know a lot of people probably prefer to have their lawn cut later in the week. You know, especially probably like the nicer properties. Just because they might have, you know, guests that they might be entertaining or have parties or whatever, like for the weekend, and, you know, they, you know, might prefer to have freshly cut grass, nice lines in the lawn. I brought 2 shovels with me. One is a real long one, like real narrow, but like real long. It's like for digging posts. And then another one just like a normal spade with a short handle. Seems like every year this road, University Boulevard, gets busier and busier. That's why I usually avoid like main roads and stuff, because it's just too much traffic. Yeah, if you're ever in Denver, Bonnie Bray ice cream. That's like a staple around this neighborhood. She's been there for decades. It's at University and Ohio. South University and Ohio. They make their own ice cream. It's really delicious. When my daughter was younger, I would bring her to work with me when I was working for Wayne, and she would just like sit in the car like on an iPad or, you know, on a phone, like watching movies or whatever. And then sometimes like over the summer, we would stop there as like a break and get some ice cream. Hopefully there's parking available in front of this house, because it's right by Wash Park, and Wash Park's like the most popular park in Colorado. Or Denver. It gets so busy, like on the weekends and over the summer. Do volleyball, soccer, flag football. They have a couple lakes there. They do like paddle boarding. People bring their dogs, people run, people walk, they bike. And then you have chicks also laying out, sun tanning. When I was younger, over the summer, like I would purposefully pass this park, like going to my next yard to look at all the ladies. Nothing wrong with a little eye candy. As long as you're like not a creep about it. Yeah, see, there's one of the lakes. The other one's kind of like a pond, really. But yeah, every one of these houses like over here, they've bought the house, or someone has like bought the house, then they tear it down and build up a like a really nice house, like multi-million dollar, like 2.5 plus. All right. Excuse me. So yeah, that's today's video, the one I made yesterday. It's like processing right now, so it's supposed to go live. Shoot, what I think I had it at 2:30, which is about an hour and a half. I might have to push that back because I'd like at least 1080p to be processed before the video goes live, so people aren't watching in, you know, like 480p. All right, yeah, clock in. Gloves, battery.
Did Denise direct you? Did Denise direct you?
Huh?
Did Denise direct you? No, you didn't talk to Denise?
No.
Right
I
on,
just went based
perfect.
off of the picture you sent. And
you.
that's where you put the pots, and I was
Yay.
like, that's where.
I just wanted to chop this down so we could see some of this stuff. Is that stupid?
I
It's
mean, you
stupid,
don't
right?
have
Because
much
then-
more
right,
growth.
Right. Okay. That's okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. 'Cause
Yeah,
otherwise
yeah.
it
If
would
there was more growth underneath, I could, but if I go anymore, it's gonna look bad.
look- Okay. Cool. Yay! Oh, yeah. You know what? So the other question with these, should we take them down to almost nothing to let the hydrangeas grow? Ultimately,
I could probably trim them a little bit. Do you want to keep them?
I mean, ultimately, probably not. But
It might just be best to think about removing them.
okay. Okay.
If you decide before I leave, I can try and get them out before I leave.
Okay. I mean, because that way this has room to kind of.
I think they'll be okay because they do have that wire thing that kind of help
Right.
props them up. So I think as long as they're, you get them water
Okay.
and keep that around there, I think they're probably going to be okay for
This year.
at least a year.
Yeah. Because I think next year we're going to redo everything.
Everything.
We just have to earn some more money.
Yeah.
We're doing some stuff inside.
It's gonna be a
and-
big undertaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why nothing this year. Just a couple plants.
But these are gonna stay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love hydrangeas.
Well, I just hate to plant these, and then you say you're gonna redo everything, and then you just take them out.
No, yeah. We're not gonna listen. This will stay.
Yeah.
I just want to. I want more color
I hear
You know?
you.
at some point. So
It looked really nice with the color of the house too. More color.
yeah, yeah, and like that pine. I mean,
Yeah.
really, you know.
Yeah.
So, but bit by bit, bit by bit. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm just about done here. I'm gonna trim a little bit more, clean
Okay.
up all this stuff,
Thank you so much.
clean up the walk, and
Thank you.
yeah.
Thanks.
Um,
Because we started with the rental, I didn't realize how much.
I can kind of do like everything if it's within reason. Like tree
Right.
trimming, I can do like
No.
low hanging stuff.
Yeah, no,
Stuff that's way up, I can't
Yeah.
do. But yeah, just kind of anything that's like lawn or property care, maintenance, kind of like I can do it. Mulch. I planted flowers before, like a whole bunch of flowers. I've removed shrubs, trimmed, and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, if it's anything kind of like related like this, just ask me.
Cool.
And I usually save Fridays for it because I mow Monday through Thursday, and then Fridays are rain makeup day.
Right.
Like we had earlier, and then
Which-
stuff like this.
It was good we had that, I think.
Yeah.
We needed that.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right.
So-
Groovy. Yay. Thank
It's good seeing
so
you.
much. Good to see you too.
Bye. Yeah, that lady's a real nice lady. She ended up, I used to do their old house, which is a Wednesday yard. They moved into it. They were like renting it because they came from out of state. But I was doing like the two neighbors next door, and the neighbor gave this lady my info, and she reached out. So I've been doing her since last year, and you know, I've done cleanups, lawn mowing, snow removal, and then what was it? It was like last October, I think it was. They moved out of their other house and bought this house, and thankfully she wanted to keep me as the company to like do all that stuff. So we've done like we did a fall cleanup there. Ian did snow removal for him this winter. We did a spring cleanup for him. We did aerate, fertilize, and overseed. I've done mulch. Robert and I did a pretty small mulch install in the backyard. Lawn mowing. And then that. So yeah, she's a great customer. Definitely want to keep her. When I did the aerate, fertilize, and overseeding, the price was like $700. And she kind of had a little bit of sticker shock when she got the invoice. So she asked why, and you know, I explained to her one of her complaints was that we were there for like 15 minutes, and when we did that, it was Ian, Robert, and myself. So like, yeah, the three of us can knock that stuff out like really, really fast. If it was just me doing all that stuff, I would be there like 3 times as long. So yeah, her kind of issue was that we were there for 15 minutes and 20 minutes, whatever. And the bill was, you know, $700. So, you know, I actually used AI to help generate a sorry, trying to navigate these narrow roads and stuff. But yeah, so I ended up using AI to come up with a response to her issue. And you know, I fed into AI, you know, like my reasons why the price is what it is. You know, we have expertise. I have expertise. The cost of the equipment, the cost of supplies, the cost of our equipment, you know, like maintenance, purchase, insurance, gas, like all that stuff. And then AI kicked something out for me that like explained it like really well. So I sent that to her. I tweaked it a little bit. Like I used kind of like my own words and tried to make it not sound like AI wrote it, you know. Sent that to her, and she understood. You know, she was like, yeah, you know, I understand. That makes total sense and stuff. Cause yeah, when she first sent that to me, I was like, you know, freaking out, like, oh crap, she's gonna cancel. Because of, you know, the price was so high or whatever. But nope, that didn't happen. So yeah, I definitely want to keep her happy. Because she's definitely been a really good customer as far as just like everything she kind of wants done. Like, you know, if it was just mowing, you know, it's like whoop-de-doo, $44 to like mow the lawn. Okay. But because her value, and I kind of hate saying it like this because I don't want to diminish my customers as like people and just put them as like dollar signs. But you know, like I mean, you have to look at it that way. You know, like how much does a customer generate? Like what's their value to you? What is your value to the customer? Like what can you bring to the customer? And also like what is their monetary value to your business? I hope that makes sense. Because yeah, if anyone's watching who might be a current customer or a future customer, which is highly unlikely because my channel is not that big, but just in case, you know, it's like that's how I'm like thinking. You know, yes, I value them as, you know, people, and you know, I'll serve them as, you know, to the best of my ability. And in doing so, they give me money. money to live, money to have a house and car and food and a gym membership and electricity and a gaming computer, an editing gaming/editing computer. All right, so the next one we're going to, we're just driving by to take a look at the property so I can get a price for mowing. And then once I get that, I can send them an estimate. I did look at this one on Google Maps, and if the satellite imagery and the street view imagery is fairly recent, it's like, it's a pretty gnarly, nasty yard. Like, it didn't look like there was like much grass. It looks like it might just be like weed control. Which, if that's the case, like, do I want that one as a customer? Because, like, my dilemma would be, I want nice lawns that, like, when I'm done, I can be proud of the way it looks. You see nice straight lines, you see nice clean edges, everything's blown off. It's like, it's the best one on the block. Like, that would be my ideal property, you know? But at the same time, like, that's, to have that for every single one, like, that's so unrealistic. And then the other, the kind of the other side of that coin is, if all it is just like easy weed control, like, you know, the weeds grow and we just go over it real quick with a mower, like, that's easy money. Like, I could be super profitable on that yard. Because it's, you know, I don't have to worry about, you know, blowing off the lawn if there's like a lot of grass clippings, or making nice clean edges. So that's, you know, kind of where I'm at. You know, it's like, yes, I want more customers. I want to make more money. Do I want money bad enough to where I'll take a crappy, ugly looking lawn? I think a part that might play in my decision in taking them as a customer, and also what the price will be is parking availability. Because that house we were just at, not that house specifically, but like that whole neighborhood, it's really, really hard to find a parking space, like kind of like between the hours of like 9 and 3 to 4. So like if I was to get a new customer in that neighborhood, and we mow, like let's say we mow them on Thursdays, and like there's parking, but it's like 7 houses down. Well, now all of a sudden, like, we have to walk all that with our equipment just to go do the yard. So that would play a role in like what my price would be. Okay, you know, we're gonna have to add a couple minutes extra onto the lawn because we have to, you know, walk down there with our trimmer, then we have to walk back, then we have to, you know, after we're done mowing, then we have to walk back with the blower to blow it off, then we have to walk back to the truck. Like, you know, that time right there can be the difference between a profitable lawn and a non-profitable lawn. All right, we're coming up here. It's up here on the left. Whew, yeah. Here, let me, that's it right there. So yeah, I could maybe take that one. But if I do, I'm definitely gonna, you know, tell them like, gotta take a picture of it. Just so I can document. So yeah, like a yard like that, I would charge them like 3 to 4 times the weekly mowing charge because it's so bad. Like it's gonna take us like 3 times as long, 2 to 3 times as long to do that. Man, I feel like there's like a bug on my leg. It's bugging the heck out of me. So yeah, because it looks like that, like I don't want to be taken advantage of as a business. Like, oh, I can let my yard grow 3 feet tall and then hire some schmuck to come and mow it for $30. Like, I don't want people thinking they can do that. Like, that's not cool. So anytime I get a new customer who wants mowing and I don't look at the property, and even if I do look at the property, you know, just to kind of like let them know that, like, hey, depending on when the lawn was last cut and how tall it is, the weekly mowing price could be 3 to 4 times, or the initial mow could be 3 to 4 times the weekly quoted price. You know, it's harder on my equipment, like the blades and the spindles and the engine and the belts, like having to cut through that much crap instead of just like, you know, weekly. Like, it's, you know, it's more wear and tear on the equipment. And you have to make that money back some way. Because if you never do that, and you just start cutting all these lawns that are like 2-3 feet tall, well, before you know it, your mower's gonna break down, and where you gonna get the money to get it fixed if you're charging yards like that for 30-40 bucks, as opposed to if you do a lot of those yards and you charge them, like, let's say that one was like 40, let's say it was 40 bucks per week. Well, like, let's say I charged them 160 to do it, because we're gonna do it, we're gonna make it look nice. You know, we're gonna blow off everything. We're not gonna leave a bunch of like stragglers and of weeds and all that stuff. So it's, you know, it's gonna take us some time. Well, if we charge if I charge that customer 4 times the weekly price of 40, which is 160, and let's say, like, because I was mowing that yard, there was something in the lawn that I did not see, and I wrecked one of my blades. Well, now all of a sudden I have the money to be able to buy a replacement blade and help cover my time for going and getting a new blade if I don't already have one, taking the blades off and swapping it out with a new one. Yeah, I've had a few customers who I've done that to. Like, their lawn was really long. It was like the first time they hired me, and, you know, I said, hey, if the lawn is long, depending on the condition of the lawn and the last time it was cut, you know, you're looking at, you know, a price of like 130 bucks, 140 bucks or whatever. And they're like, okay, I understand. Alright, so we're here at the parts store. Thank you.
You get your receipt for everything and you're set to go. Oh yeah.
Okay, I go to check the flag.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big thing. Yeah?
Sounds good, man.
Thank you, bro.
No problem. You have a good one. Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, you too.
We can reuse.
How can I help you?
I need a couple replacement heads for trimmers.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
You just want the speed feeds? Anyone in particular?
One of the bottom ones, and then can I see? No, that's not. The second to the bottom one. These are like universal, right?
Correct. Yeah, they come with a different. Depending on your machine, it comes with a different threads. Just pop in the middle there.
Okay. All right.
What's your phone number with us? You have a phone number with us?
720-771-1056.
All right. Anything else for you today?
That's it.
Two heads are going to run 101.45.
Do we have any more Bear Creek in the?
Let me give you an invoice for those, and you're set to go.
I think we have a $55,000. I think that's the one he sent me. He sent me for something, I'm not sure.
And you're all set to go.
Thank you.
No problem.
$100. All right, so this is the one Wayne gave me. It's bigger. This is the one that was on, or this is like the size of the one that was on my Echo trimmer. I don't know really what the difference is, other than just size. So yeah. I will probably meet up with Wayne Like on Monday, if he's out, I'm sure he'll be out mowing on Monday, as will I. And if I'm kind of like in the same neighborhood, I'll swing by and drop that one off for him. But yeah, so like where we were, that job where I planted those flowers and trimmed the bushes, that was where we were yesterday when the trimmer broke. So you know, what was that, like a 20-minute drive maybe? It's like round trip, you know, you're looking 40 to 60 minutes maybe, depending on traffic. And yeah, you know, that yesterday, that would have, you know, what we got off like, or we stopped working and got back to the shop at like 5:30, 5:45 or something, I think it was. So if I would have had to add that hour, you know, all of a sudden it's almost 7 o'clock. So hit that like button for Wayne and coming through for me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, like I was saying yesterday in yesterday's video, I've just always been really careful of my equipment, that I've never really had issues with, you know, like the trimmer head doing what that did. And I don't want to put like all the blame on Junior, because, you know, like he didn't know. So yeah, we're coming up here on the next one I want to look at for lawn mowing. Oh boy, Dandelion Central. Look at that. Yeah, I don't mind. It definitely needs to be cut. This could probably actually be a Tuesday yard, because I am really close by on Tuesdays. The gates look a little small. Like as far as, you know, getting my 32 inch at least in the back. Because looking at the satellite view from Google Maps, the backyard was actually really big. So I would hate to have to use like the X mark walk behind, the 30-inch commercial 30. I mean, you know, who wants to walk mowing lawns? Yeah, there might be some people out there. But if I can stand, I want to stand. All right. Oh shoot, I wanted to take a picture of it. But do I want to drive by it a third time in case someone's home and they're like looking out the window wondering why this truck with mowers is driving slowly by their house? Hopefully they might be able to put two and two together and be like, oh, that might be the company I reached out to yesterday about mowing my lawn. But I will drive by it once more and take a picture just so I have documentation. Yeah, some of these lawns over in this area are kind of are not that bad, like size-wise. It would be kind of nice to be able to have some more big yards. Alright, so one last mowing job to do, and then that is it. I think what I might do tomorrow is do my blades on my mowers tomorrow. On Saturday. I really like to do blades fairly often, especially during the springtime, because there's just so much grass. It's so thick, it's so tall and everything. It's, you know, usually sometimes a little wet or whatever. So I think that just, you know, that will dull the blades a lot more than if it was like, you know, in the middle of, you know, July and August. where things have started to, you know, not, things aren't growing as fast because it's a lot hotter. But one thing I was wanting to do is figure out a new mounting method for my All-American sharpener, because when I was doing it, I was holding it like, you know, way up here doing it, and it would be ideal if, you know, it was, you know, almost kind of like where my stomach is. So I think what I'll need to do is maybe go on like homedepot.com and see if they have like a mobile or portable workbench or something. One that you can mount things to, or even if I could drill a couple holes and like bolt it down. And two, one that can like fold up and, you know, I can like lean up against the wall in my storage unit, because I don't want a you know, something taking up a lot of room, because as you guys have seen in the past, which you'll probably see towards the end of this video, because I'll probably keep it going until I unload my equipment and everything. Space is at a premium in my storage unit. Oh, I also need to go fill up my mowers. I normally do that Thursdays. But I chose not to yesterday so we could hurry up and get, you know, get lawns done. But yeah, I have this app on my phone. It's called Upside. And you can earn cash back on fuel purchases. I'm not looking at my phone, I'm driving, but I'm just showing that if you guys can see it. Up in the top, I have almost $90 in cash from just all the fill-ups I've done over the past like few years. But you can see like this one, you get 22 cents back per gallon on premium. Yeah, you can see the other one is 13 cents a gallon. And they have gas, they have food. See, I'll probably go that one where I get 22 cents back. Yeah, it's not much. I'll probably get maybe I'll probably get less than, I don't know, maybe between 10 and 15 gallons. So that might be a couple bucks that I get back, which is essentially like a free gallon of gas. But yeah, if you guys are interested in using that app for yourself, I'll leave a, I don't know if I have a link already in the description for it. If I don't, I will add one. So yeah, if you guys are interested in using that, you know, click the link in the video description. Yeah, hopefully this week that the cars are moved back so I can get my 48 into the backyard here. Because last week the car was parked too close. I couldn't get the 48. I was able to get the 32-inch. But it would be nice to get the 48 in the backyard. And it looks like we are able to. I don't know why these like won't. Yeah, like disconnects from my, the audio disconnects from my buds.
There we go. There's a screw in this tire. These things are all rubber, I think.
So there's one final one that I'm gonna drive by. It's that one where she approved the mowing estimate, and I just want to drive by it and see what it looks like. And then when I get home, I'll reach out to her and let her know what day it'll be on and all that stuff. I think she might have actually just pulled in her driveway. Hi, are you Nicole?
No,
Does she live here?
I don't know. It's an Airbnb. It's an Airbnb.
Oh, it is an Airbnb?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm supposed to mow the lawn.
Oh, that building needs it.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Huh? I'm gonna be doing it next week. I just wanted to drive by.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'll be here next week to mow it, and I just saw you pull in, and I wasn't sure if you were Nicole or not, but she hired me to do it. So, all right, have a good weekend. The Airbnb, huh? Well, Darren, I wanted to take a picture. I'll take a picture. Remind me to take a picture before we mow it. Not that you guys can do that unless you leave a comment on the video. Well, when am I gonna do this? I might do it Tuesday. If you leave a comment on Monday's video, Tuesday morning, I'll probably see that and remind myself. Alright, so I got 5,500 steps in, which means I should be able to only do 30 minutes of walking tonight at the gym. Instead of an hour. Yeah, last night I got home. See what, I got home around like 6 or something. And then I started editing the video together, or doing like color correction and all that stuff. Relaxed for a little bit, let my dogs out. And ended up taking a shower. I got to the gym last night at, what was it, like 8:30? And then I was at the gym for like 2.5 hours. And then, yeah, I came home and ate something and then went to bed. So I slept in a little bit this morning. Though in the spring and summer where I live, it's kind of hard to sleep in because my room has a window that faces east, and bright and early in the morning I see that sun just blasting through the window, and that'll wake me up. So yeah, I set an alarm for 8. But I woke up at 7 because the sun was right in my eyes. Yeah, like most mornings, I won't have to set an alarm because the sun will wake me up. And it's a whole different story in the fall and winter. Because the sun's farther south and the nights are longer, so that direct sun doesn't go through my window and wake me up. I really want Chipotle again. What was it, a couple weeks ago I had Chipotle for the first time in 4 months. It was so good. But I gotta try as hard as I can to stick to the things I'm eating. I mean, it's not that big of a deal if I have Chipotle, but the thing is, I ended up making, so I made 3 pounds of ground beef with taco seasoning and 2 onions and 2 red bell peppers. And then I added a carton of egg whites into the beef. And once I browned the beef, I added the egg whites and then cooked the egg whites in and mixed it and all that stuff. And then I added back the onion and bell pepper, because first I sauteed the onion and bell pepper and then set it aside. So I made 3 pounds of that. And that's been my meal for the past week. I usually have, so I'll have 2 tacos, but they're burritos, soft tacos. The tortillas I have are low carb, low calorie, and high in protein. I think each tortilla has I don't know, 8 or 10 grams of protein. So I usually have 2 of those for usually like lunch and dinner. If I eat lunch, like, you know, on a Saturday, I'll have lunch. But usually when I'm working, like, I won't eat anything until I get back from the gym, and then that's what I'll make. So on each of those, I do 80 grams of Greek yogurt in a little plastic cup, a few squirts of lime juice, some cilantro, and then there's this like I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a lime seasoning salt or something. I'll pour some of that in, and then I'll mix it together. I'll lay my tortillas down, spread 40 grams on each tortilla. Then I'll do 30 grams of salsa on each burrito. And then usually 1 or 2 romaine lettuce leaves. I'll rip them up and put it in there. And then I'll usually do 4 to 4.5 ounces of ground beef on each burrito. And then I'll roll it up and eat it, and that's like my dinner. So I'm trying to get as much protein as I can, so as I'm like working and working out and losing weight, the weight I'm losing isn't muscle. So that's kind of been that's been my routine for, you know, a few months. The other thing I'll do is I'll take those tortillas, the low carb, high protein tortillas, and I'll air fry some like chicken tender or chicken breast with a low calorie sauce, you know, like maybe honey mustard or like a buffalo wing sauce or something. I'll air fry those, and then I'll take hummus, and I'll do I think it's 30 grams of hummus on each burrito, and then 28 grams of feta cheese on each burrito, and then a few more things of romaine lettuce, and then I'll do like 17 grams of the low calorie sauce that I used for the chicken. And then like that'll be another meal. Like if I get sick of doing like tacos, which I don't, because it's really delicious, especially with the Greek yogurt and lime and cilantro. Like that's just like, I don't know why I haven't been doing that the past like 20 years on tacos and burritos, because it's so delicious. It's almost like sour cream, but it's not as high in calories, and there's more protein too. So yeah, that's usually been like my meals for the past several months. And then of course I had Chipotle a couple weeks ago. I got some Domino's pizza I don't know, maybe a month or so ago also. But as long as I'm like still in that calorie deficit at the end of the week, like I'm doing okay. So yeah, ever since I started this, you know, like I said, I've almost lost 40 pounds, like 38 pounds. It averages out to about 2.1, I think it was, pounds per week that I'm losing. So pretty freaking rad. I'm excited. Now I have no idea what to do with all that dirt. I'm gonna have to do something with it. Oh shoot, I forgot gas. I can go get gas tomorrow when after I'm done sharpening blades. Alright, so yeah, this is what I was talking about, the grinder. It's like very up here, and I'd like it to be like right here. So if I could get like a mobile or portable workbench that I can like fold up and stick right there, I could mount that onto it and do it. I need to get more grass seed too, because next week my big property that I have, he wants us to aerate, overseed, and I might do fertilizer. I need to see when, because he's doing monthly fertilizer applications. I need to see when his next fertilizer application is. If it's like the week after, so like the third week of May, I might just bump his fertilizer up 1 week so I can just do it all in one go. I'd also like to get something that maybe I can mount like up there, so I can like hang some of these tools up. So yeah, tonight I'll look on HomeDepot.com or even Amazon. And look for a portable workbench. If Home Depot doesn't have it, and Amazon might. I'll see if maybe they have like overnight delivery, so I can have it early tomorrow and get my blades and gas done early tomorrow. instead of like the afternoon. Yeah, let me know if you guys have noticed me vaping less. I think I'm vaping less. It's gonna be a real challenge trying to quit completely, especially when I'm at home. Like, I think that might be my biggest roadblock. You know, being at home, on the weekends. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. This video is gonna be 3 hours long, something like that. 3-4 hours long, maybe. Not bad. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. And I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And don't forget to leave a comment on Monday's video, which will be released Tuesday, to remind me to take a picture of that one that we drove by just before we went back to the shop. Or I'll set a reminder on my phone. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Again, have a great weekend. I appreciate you watching, and we will see you on Monday. Bye, guys.